President Zelensky says the next 24 hours will be crucial for Ukraine. Officials say that Russian forces are continuing to shell in almost all directions. Belarus says that it has prepared a venue to host talks between Ukraine and Russian delegations as Moscow's invasion enters a fifth day. It comes as the EU is taking the unprecedented step of sending arms to the country.
As the war in Ukraine rages on and Ukrainians fight bravely for their country, the European Union steps up once more its support for Ukraine and the sanctions against the aggressor that is Putin's Russia. For the first time ever, the European Union will finance the purchase and delivery of weapons and other equipment to a country that is under attack. This is a watershed moment.
The European Commission is also shutting down EU airspace to Russian planes. Member states will also take Ukrainian refugees and bypass the usual asylum application process. Meanwhile, the Russian ruble has plunged to a new low against the dollar in the wake of severe sanctions. The UN Security Council has voted for the General Assembly to hold an emergency session on the invasion later today.
For the first time in decades, it has called for an emergency special session in the General Assembly. The Council members who supported this resolution recognize that this is no ordinary moment. We need to take extraordinary actions to meet this threat to our international system and do everything we can to help Ukraine and its people. Just this morning, President Putin put Russia's nuclear forces on high alert.
Well, speaking last evening, the Taoiseach described the invasion as reckless and said the war must end.
I think the response has to be very firm from the West in respect to the sanctions that we've deployed with a view to ending this war. It's very, very important that the war would end and that people would be spared any further loss of life and damage.
According to most recent estimates, over 400,000 people are displaced in the EU because of the war in Ukraine. Thousands more are making their way to safety in other countries.
Hundreds of thousands of people rush to leave Ukraine in search of safety as the war in the country enters day 5. The UN says most Ukrainians are heading for neighbouring Poland, Moldova, Hungary, Romania and Slovakia, while others will travel further afield. Another busload of Ukrainians arriving in Poland. A stream of buses keep filtering into this car park, which now appears to have turned into a makeshift reception centre. The vast majority of these people would have walked for hours trying to reach the border before being picked up. Displaced families are being torn apart as conscripted men between the ages of 18 and 60 are being stopped from leaving Ukraine. Meanwhile, the UN Refugee Agency says governments in neighbouring countries are opening their doors to accept refugees and have also established community centres to try to help separated families to reconnect. Anne O'Donnell, Virgin Media News.
A group of Ukrainian men living in Ireland are currently travelling back home to fight for their country. They said they can't watch what's happening in Ukraine from Ireland. They took a flight to Poland last night and will cross the land border into Ukraine. There were emotional scenes as they said goodbye to their loved ones.
I'm very nervous and very sad today. I'm proud of my people from my country who are going to the Ukraine to help our people and save their life. I want to say them just get a win and come back to Ireland.